Bishbat, Jewish Arbor Day, Rosh Hashanah Lilanot, Hamisha Asa Bishbat, in Ladino Frutas, in Arabic Eid al-Shar. This is the day of fruits, the day that we partake of and relish in the fruits of Eretz Israel and of all the bounty of the trees that Borei Olam has given us throughout the world. And even though this Rosh Hashanah, this special New Year of the trees, is mentioned in the Mishnah, there are no special practices, observances, or customs associated with it. It's not until the Mekubalim of 16th century Safed that we really hear about this Minhag, which seems to have originated among the Ashkenazi communities, and these Mekubalim raised this Minhag to a greater level by adding a special dimension to the berachot that we say before eating the fruits. And in fact, they looked at fruits in different categories: those that can be eaten completely without any sort of outer shell or inner seed, those with just an inner seed, those with just an outer shell. And regardless of that, the general public looked at this as a way to praise Borei Olam and went out of their way to go to the market already from a week, 2 weeks before the holiday to buy all the different types of fruits, special fruits, dried fruits or fresh fruits, and set up their table as lavishly as possible, but not only with fruits, but with different wines as well to, once again, praise Borei Olam with the berachot. We have Borei Fri HaGefen for the wines. They made different sorts of pastries and sweets, mizonot, out of the wheat and barley, and then of course the fruits of ha'ais and the fruits of ha'adamah. And everybody would invite their friends and neighbors, and their family members to come and partake of this. But it wasn't just a spread of fruit and pastries and wine and drink. It was also a night where the mothers and the grandmothers, were very, very proud. They embroidered special little bags for the children and grandchildren, embroidered their names on them. The fathers would have the fruit in front of them, and they would call over each child separately and give them fruits that they would put into their bags. And it would be the first time during the course of the year that somebody may actually even see something as obscure as a cashew nut, which we look at today as what's the big deal. We have everything in plenty, but going back not too long ago, even a few decades ago, things weren't as easily accessible throughout the year. We had actual seasons, and we couldn't partake of everything throughout the year. Nowadays, we take it for granted, but this is a time of year that we learn to appreciate, look back, and see, what Hashem made available to us. And for this reason, there were special readings. The Mekubalim that we mentioned earlier created a special reading called Peri Eis Hadar. This was first printed in Venice, Italy in 1728. Here's a later printing. This is from 1928 from Livorno, Italy. And this was read in many a home in the various Sephardic communities before, after, and during partaking of different types of fruits. Besides that, you had Minhag in other places where, let's say, for example, in Damascus, Syria, they would read all of Mishnayot Berachot, all of Mishnayot Rosh Hashanah before beginning to partake of the fruits. In Halab, there was a very interesting custom where they didn't read anything having to do with fruits, but they read something called Aseret de Berot with the Sharh, the Perush of Beno Sa'adia Gaon. And this wasn't just a literal translation, but actually an explanation for the men, women, and children to listen and understand. And the reason this was done is because the upcoming parasha, always immediately after Tu Bishbat, would be parasha Yitro, the parasha of Aseret de Berot. And here's a version of it that was actually printed in Halab, this one from 1924, and this is an earlier version that was handwritten right here on these American shores about 120 years ago, and they would sit and read this together. And besides that, there was a special song in Halab for Tu Bishbat, a folkloric song in Judea Arabic, Even though people know the tune today, and it's our Tu Bishbat tune for Nakdi Shach, most people have forgotten the song. It's called Ishu Khabar Ya Rijal. Ishu Khabar Ya Rijal La'anna Eid Al-Jar, etc. I'm not going to sing the whole song right now. But these are different aspects of Tu Bishbat. But back to the fruit. The fruit was the main thing. And the children would gather the fruit in their bags and then want to trade with one another. Oh, you got a fig, I got a date, Then there was always that piece of kharub, the carob. And most people didn't like it. It was dry, it was smelly. But at the same time, it had a connection to the Tanaim and to Eretz Israel. So you wanted it, but you didn't want it. And there was always a struggle. Trade it, not trade it. Who's going to give me something better for it? But this is something I can hold on to for months. It'll never go bad. And it's my connection to Eretz Israel. So all these different things were things that children enjoyed, and the parents and the grandparents enjoyed sharing with their children. It's a custom that we had among us for at least a few centuries, and it's a custom that unfortunately has been dying out. It's very important to revive this custom, bring it back to our homes. Happy Tu Bishbat.